You know what's strange? Some of the most intelligent and emotionally sensitive people are also some of the most exhausted. Not because they do too much, but because they think too much. They replay conversations, they imagine scenarios, and their mind refuses to stop. The paradox is that this mental habit is also connected to their depth and empathy. So why do some people think so much? In psychology, this is often described as rumination. It's when the mind keeps returning to the same thoughts again and again without really moving forward. You rethink what you said, what the other person meant, what you should have said instead. The brain creates the feeling that it's working, but in reality, it's just looping. A lot of people assume overthinkers are fragile, but it's not that simple. Often, their brain is just very good at spotting details, risks, and hidden meanings. The problem is that this system keeps scanning even when there's nothing left to solve. It's like having an extremely powerful detector that never turns off. Even in quiet moments, their mind keeps working. The body may be resting, but the brain stays on. Very often, this reflex starts early, in unpredictable environments. When everything feels uncertain, the brain learns to anticipate in order to protect itself. Seen that way, overthinking is no longer a flaw. It's a protection strategy. That's also why many overthinkers are highly sensitive to other people's emotions. They notice tension, silence, and tiny shifts that other people don't even see. That emotional sensitivity can be a strength, but it comes at a cost. When you keep picking up on everything, you eventually start absorbing everything too. Sometimes one small detail becomes a huge story in your mind. And yet, there's a real difference between reflecting and ruminating. Reflection helps you understand. Rumination keeps you trapped in the same maze. The trap is that rumination feels useful. You think you're making mental progress, but sometimes you're just feeding the loop. That's why just stop thinking about it almost never works. It's not a simple off switch. It's often an old automatic pattern. And this pattern often reveals someone who is deeply sensitive to others. The kind of person who wants to understand before judging and avoid hurting people. They are not too much, they just perceive more. But perceiving more without knowing how to stop is exhausting. At some point, you no longer know whether you're listening to your intuition or feeding your anxiety. The real goal is not to get rid of every thought. It's to learn not to obey every single one of them. A thought is not always a signal. Sometimes it's just a thought. The brain can send out an alarm even when there is no real danger. Little by little, you have to learn to create distance. Instead of "there's a problem," you can begin to recognize, "my brain is generating a scenario." That small shift can change everything, because you stop fusing so tightly with every thought. You observe, you breathe, and you respond less quickly to inner panic. Thinking too much is not proof that you're broken. It's often the sign of a mind that is highly active, highly sensitive, and highly alert. A mind that believed for a long time it had to stay on guard in order to stay safe. The real work is learning how to offer that mind some rest, not by forcing it to stop thinking, but by finally feeling safe enough to let go. If you think too much, it doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. It may simply mean your mind learned to carry too much on its own. But today, it can learn something else. Not everything needs to be analyzed. Not everything needs to be anticipated. Some things simply need to be felt and then released. Mental peace does not always begin when you finally find all the answers. Sometimes it begins when you stop demanding that you understand everything. If you saw yourself in this video, tell me in the comments, when do you overthink the most? And if you want more videos about psychology and emotions, subscribe to the channel.